Welcome back to the Dax and Randy Show, the number one show for going through the ups and downs of life. Stay tuned. You're coming up next. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Dax and Randy podcast. I'm your host, Dax. As always, I got my beautiful co-host with me, my wife, my friend, my everything, my business partner. She's so many things in my life, my encourager. You know what I mean? My backbone. My back's been hurting too, so I needed a backbone. But what's up, Ben?
Hi, everyone. I am Randy, the co host of the Dex and Randy Show.
I'm telling you, I love our show.
I love it
I
too.
love our show, and I'm so glad we renamed it too. But anyway, how you doing? You know what I mean? We got a lot to talk about today. You know what I mean? The devil was almost busy already at the beginning, messing with the software as always. You know what I'm saying? But how you feeling? You know what I mean? What's going on with you? What's up?
I feel fine.
You feel
I
fine?
feel fine.
You feel fine. Fine could mean a lot of things. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? But our show is the first time for you guys listening. This is the number one show for going through the ups and downs of life, because that's what we talk about. We talk about the ups and the downs of life, and life will really put you through it day by day, sometimes minute by minute. And we had a trying week this week. We had a mix this week. We had a week of unexpected news to realizing how we're feeling about certain things, to things really impacting us emotionally, physically, mentally. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's just so hard to deal with it. But this week we had the ups and downs of everything all mixed in.
It
You know
was
what I'm
like an
saying?
emotional roller coaster
It was
week.
a roller coaster. It's a roller coaster. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But we gonna take you on this roller coaster today, and you might be listening and be like, "Well, what did I tune into today?" Well, let me tell you something. Wherever you're at in your life, you're on some part of a roller coaster right now. You might be at the top, anticipating something good to happen, all types of excitement. You might be going down, and now all of a sudden you're scared and terrified. You know what I mean? You might be in one of them little pause breaks where they make you think the ride's over, and then all of a sudden you're getting 40, 50 miles an hour, and you didn't expect that. You know what I mean? You could be going up slowly and slowly and slowly and looking over these sides and getting terrified, you know what I mean, with anticipation and anxiety. Like, but you're on a ride, and we're about to take you guys on a ride today because we've been on one this week. You know what I mean? But before we get into all of that, this episode, like all episodes of the Dax and Randy Show, is sponsored by Basin Accountant LLC. Make sure if you want your accounting done for your business, you know what I mean? You want to make sure you have the best accountants that's making sure the books are right, that you're getting the best financial advisory services, that you're thinking about the future and what you should be doing for your business, let alone taxes. If you want to get your taxes done by the best tax accountant in the world, that's sitting right next to me. That's sitting right next to me. You know what I mean? But if you want someone that really, really cares about your business because they care about theirs, you need to reach out to Basin Accounting today. Stop doing everything on your end. You know what
Yes.
I mean? Stop trying to do it on your end. Get out of that spreadsheet. Get out of that little couple invoices you got in that little field in your truck. You don't know what's going on. Get out of your head. You know what I'm saying? Get out of your mind where you know where all the money was spent and where the money came in, and you think you got it, you probably don't. You
Come
know
get
what
in
I mean?
compliance.
Come get in compliance. Don't wait for the word audit to pop up for you to care about their financials. You know what I mean? You need them. You're in the business. Do it the right way. Reach out to Biz and account that we got you, right, man?
Always.
But anyway, what's up with you? Like, how was we talking about the ups and downs of life, but we gotta talk about the ups and downs of our week. It was a mix of things. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Talking about Biz and accounting first and foremost, a positive thing for this week. So we talked about before a client that we was hoping to get. I'm so excited that we got him. You know what I'm saying? We got a new client this week, but it's not really just any client. This ain't a conversation about money. This is a conversation about purpose and passion. You know what I'm saying? And the client we got this week, to me, is somebody special because a lot of the things that they're doing is from the heart, impacting the community. You know what I mean? They're going out in the community, talking to teens about gun violence and changing their lives, coming to Christ. You know what I'm saying? They're out there making movies, trying to make a difference in very, very tough environments. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that we were able to find a way, I would say, to get in business with them, even if all the numbers and everything didn't tie out perfectly the way we might want. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited to get that email we got this week to
Mhm.
say like, hey, we're in business. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And the other part of that is our podcast, our business, what we're doing with the Dax and Randy Show and Quiet Money Corporation, which owns the Dax and Randy Show. This is our passion. You know what I'm saying? This isn't our service based business. This is what we believe that we're going to get our message out there, our voice, how we look at life, how we believe in things. And they wanted to be a part of that too.
Yeah.
I'm about to have them as a guest on our podcast this year. I don't know when, you know what I'm saying? But I will be having a couple of guests on our podcast. We gonna get to learn about other people that's going through the ups and downs of life and being successful and making a difference. And this this new client was excited to do it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It wasn't even something I had to sell. So that was a real positive of the week. What about you? You got any positives from the week?
We're in the process of hiring help.
Talk about that. You know that's my favorite topic. You know what I mean? My favorite is to
Yeah,
say I
I've
need help.
this week I just had some realizations, and as a company,
Good.
you hear the
I do. I
music.
don't know what's going on down there. I'm gonna take care of it, dude. I don't know what's going on downstairs, but I'm gonna take care of it. Go ahead.
Yeah, so guys, we're recording, and when we record, everyone in the house knows to be quiet. But it sounds like there's a party going on downstairs. I don't know if you can hear it, but I surely can. But anyway, what was I saying?
I don't know. That threw you off.
It did throw me off. Okay, okay,
You
okay.
said we're talking about expanding.
Expanding. Yes. So I realized that I need to let some things go in the business. And it's some of the things that I'm working on. I need to train qualified people to handle it, and I need to bring on experienced people. I need to free up my plate so I can work on other things.
But you've been talking about that for a while. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? And I'm gonna put a little more detail to it. So we have an advisory service for business and accounting. That's like our main service outside of taxes and that kind of thing. So we be financial advisors for our clients where we provide them accounting services, payroll services, but we also give them like controller services and tax advisory services and things where you're not just looking at accounting and what was done in the past and making sure things reconcile and financial statements and all that. Cool. But are you thinking about the future? Is your business set up the right way? You know what I mean? If you want to go on a new venture, are you thinking about the right things to do? You know what I mean? If you want to make strategic changes, are you thinking about the right things to make sure your business is optimized, right? Like we wanted to do more of that, and we've brought that component into our business through our advisory service, right?
Yes.
But what we're noticing even more and more is to really give value to people with that, you have to have time for it. You
Exactly.
have to have time for it. So, how do we provide the time to be true advisors to our clients? And I love the clients we have now because now we'll pick the exact client that we want, that client profile
Mhm.
that we want. It's not just anybody, right? Everybody can work with us. Everybody can't even afford us. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But how do we make sure we're giving them the value that they should get? We have to have time for them.
Yep.
But the base of our service also is, of course, you got to have your accounting done. You got to have your day-to-day transactions reconciled, accounted for. Like that is still a base of everything. So that's the part that we're like, hey, we need some more help with that
Mhm.
because we want to do the more value add thing, but we got to still have the foundation there.
Yeah.
And now we're looking to get even more help higher, right? To help us with the foundation. Because
Yeah.
the account is just the foundation. But that's not really the source. That's your word. You know what I'm saying? But the source that we bring is our experience and our advice and what to do, not just looking at what was done. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I'm excited. It's a little nerve wracking, a little bit
Mhm. Mhm.
going into like anybody that's got a business, when you hire, period, there's some challenges with that. You know what I mean? There's some uncertainty there. You're used to doing it on your end. I know you. I want you to talk about that because you love to have it on your hands. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I
definitely.
don't. I
Yes, you.
don't. No.
All
Okay.
right, all right.
So I don't love to do everything or do a lot, but I can't help it. It's our business, and I think that with not having a team as qualified as myself, and that's nothing, um, against my team, but I'm the higher level controller, accountant, CFO, whatever you want to call me, and I feel like I need to see everything. I need to review everything. But recently, I've learned that that's not the case. It may not be everything. It could be a lot of things, but when you hire people that are qualified and know
Hmm.
what they're doing, it changes everything.
It do. So
So
you ready to go on this journey?
I'm ready to go on the journey, but it also means letting some people go. And that's going to be difficult.
It's been difficult.
It's been difficult. It's been difficult.
And
So,
and and the thing is, when you go on a journey, you can't always take everybody with you, right?
mhm,
And that's the hard part too. We can't take everybody with us where we're trying to go, but maybe that's why we ain't gotten where we're trying to go. Part of
exactly.
it too is because everybody's not going to be able to go where we want to go.
Yeah. But it's a reflection of our heart, of how we want to help people. And
Hmm.
that's, and I'll leave it right there. I'll leave it right
Yeah, you don't
there.
want to get into that.
I really don't.
It's all good.
I don't.
It's
That's
all
that's
good.
another episode.
That's not even what we're here for
Yeah.
today. But we're gonna be growing our business, and this is gonna allow us to grow our business like we want. Because one thing about me and Randy is that you guys might be able to relate. We want to be able to live our lives not just to work. So we want to be able to have more moments together. We want to be able to travel more. We want to spend more time with our family. We want to be able to live in different places and have different experiences and stuff like that. And we have a really, really good business, but we want to grow it. You know what I mean? And we want to be able to not be working all the time, work smarter, not harder. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And utilize the infrastructure what God, and we could bless other people. But what did that too? By hiring people already. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that. The other thing I'm excited real quick about our business and then we move on is that I had a really, really good conversation with one of our clients. I think we were able to be real with them and give them advice on things that they shouldn't do, which is something that's always challenging. You know what I mean? But I like the way we do things because part of advisory, our service is being able to give you the advice on what you shouldn't do. You know what I'm saying? And we'd be like, hey, you shouldn't take this money out. What do you need it for? You know what I'm saying? Or, maybe you shouldn't go back to work necessarily. Don't give up on it. Maybe you should. You know what I mean? Or like these are the things that I think we do well, especially when we do it together. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? But I think we had a really, really good conversation. We kind of sat on this call for almost an hour. You know what I'm saying? But I started to get some insight into what the client was looking to do in the future, and I saw some things that we need to be giving them even more advice on, which is like the business structure. Are they paying themselves enough? How often should we be having them conversations? You know what I mean? Especially the client being an S corp. You know what I mean? If anybody knows anything about S corps, there's a lot of benefits with having an S corp, a lot of tax benefits, right? But you have to stay within particular rules and regulations to hold your S corp status. So why would you have an S corp and not be getting all the benefits from it?
Mhm.
To be able to get all the benefits from it, we got to have ongoing conversation, communication on what you're doing, and all types of things like that. So I know we're gonna get better at that too, with more advisory time. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
And I appreciate you taking the
Well, that's
time.
what I'm supposed to do. That's what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
It really sounds like they're having a party downstairs. I don't know what they did, but I'm gonna
I know
talk
what
to
it
them.
is.
What is it?
Mariah's doing Zumba.
Is it?
Hmm.
Oh,
I
I'm
know
gonna have to.
exactly. I
I'm
know
gonna have to
exactly
tell
what it
her
is.
about that.
I've already texted her to
And what
please.
did she say?
I don't think she realizes. I don't think she's looked at the phone yet.
No.
Mm-mm.
Did you try to call her?
No.
All right, we about to. I'm gonna try that because I could hear the whole thing downstairs, and it's crazy.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
that's all right. You know what I mean? But what else is going on before I talk about what I really want to report about today, and I want to share about community with everybody before I even get into this topic called community because that's the biggest thing that's come out of the week for me. But before I get into that, anything and what's been on your heart? Because it's been a couple times this week that I have seen you, went to give you a hug, you know what I'm saying? Went to comfort you. just say hi, and I'm just felt the weight of something. You know what I'm saying? And listen, yo, sometimes you're walking around, you think everything's good, but we're holding weights. And I've had my own weight that I'm been holding inside. And I know Randis had hers, you know what I'm saying? Had hers. Look at that. But I want to talk to you guys and like sit down with us in these next couple minutes and think about what is that weight in your life that it might have felt like it was 2 pounds, and then all of a sudden it feels like it's 20 pounds. And not always a surprise, you know what I'm saying? But what is that weight that you're going through? And I want you to just think about that as me and Randy have a real conversation right now about the weight that she's been going through. And I wanted to help a lot of other people because what she's been going through, it impacts so many, especially those as parents. You know what I'm saying? So I want y'all to tap in with us real quick. And I'm gonna put Randy in the, I'm gonna call it the yellow orange area because she ain't about to be too comfortable with it. But it's
I know.
okay.
I have like a lump in my
I
throat
know,
because
but
it's
that's
like I
why
want to
we.
cry.
I know, but that's why we here because we hey this we went to church today and they talked about community and I get into all that, but that's why we have this podcast. You know what I mean? And it's to help people and it's to help ourselves. And you've been going through something this week, and it should up at least once every day. And I just want you to really give some background into it and talk about it. And I'm here for you. And anybody that supports our podcast is here for you. But let that out. You know what I'm saying? And I'll let mine out. Trust me.
Yeah. Okay. Um, it's just been a trying week as I've been trying to stay positive, but I would say that the main thing is some of you, if you've been listening for a while, you know that our youngest son has a developmental delay. And for whatever reason, and what that means is that he's not doing a lot of the things that children his age should be doing, um, based on what the population is doing, pretty much. So there's certain milestones that he's not meeting. And one of those things is his language development. He's behind. And he's been trying to tell me things or lead my hands to things. And he's been getting frustrated. And his frustration is turning into like these, like he just gets very upset. I don't even want to say a tantrum because I'm not even sure if that's what that is, but he's very frustrated. And then I'm very concerned because I don't know how to help him, even though we do have, um we are in, what's it called, early intervention. So we
Mm-hmm.
do get help from a special educator who comes to the home. We've put him in childcare, in school, to help him, develop. But it's been hard this week. And then the other thing is he's been sick. He's
Mm-hmm.
had like this, um his loss of appetite and this cough, this lingering cough. And I don't know if it's a loss of appetite per se, or if it's a change in taste buds, or like I don't really know what's going on with him, and he can't tell me. So it's been very hard, and I've been thinking, am I doing everything that I can to help him or to support his needs? And what else should I be doing? You know, and it's that's been on my mind this week, and I hope I'm doing everything, but you don't really know.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I look at him and he wakes up with a smile. He's clearly happy to see me.
Mm-hmm. Always, always, always. And he coming right to you. Somebody else might give him a hug real quick, but he gonna be like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
And he gonna go right back to mama,
Yeah. And
For
he
sure.
does communicate, like he does get what he wants, but I think there's just certain times I'm like, I don't know what it is, what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's there's a hindrance there. And I spent a lot of week in prayer
Mm-hmm.
because God gave me this beautiful child, and he's not going to put more on me than I can handle. And I'm saying me because I'm just talking about myself.
No, I got you. I got you. I got
It's
you.
our he's our
Baby, I
child and
know.
stuff,
I
but
got you.
I'm just talking from personal experience.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been reassuring myself. I've been listening to positive, just affirmations and scriptures and preachings and podcasts, like really pouring into myself, because I know that that's an opening for the enemy to come in,
Mm,
and that's doubt right there.
mm.
And I don't need to doubt myself. I don't need to doubt the Lord. Like, so it's like conceptually, I know everything's okay. You're all good. But sometimes, the emotions kick in and we're human.
Right.
And that's what happened to me this week.
Yeah.
And then, just the doubts. And I'm like, nope, in the name of Jesus, I rebuke you. So
Yeah. But you definitely been getting
yeah, it was hard for me this week too, because I'm usually the strong, positive
yeah.
person. Like, I don't normally get down like that.
Hmm.
So,
But that's all right though.
and it's okay. I let it ride,
Hmm.
and I'm aware of how I feel, and God got me, and y'all got me, and it's going to be okay. I'm not the first person to deal with a child that has a developmental delay, who potentially has autism. Um, I'm not the first, and I won't be the last, but I'm happy to share my experience and just the raw emotion behind it, because I know, just being on social media, and like when people post how they feel, you'll see so much backlash. Like, just somebody trying to express, I don't understand why my child does this, or I don't understand what this is. And people are just so mean,
Mm.
but for me, I'm happy, because I know I'm not the only person. And I hope that somebody listens to this and understands that if you're dealing with a child that has a developmental delay, or whatever you're dealing with, because at some point, all of my children have had some sort of.
Right. Some type of delay or
So-
problem or something. It's true.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
he is has been different,
yeah.
for sure.
And it's just, trying to get the help. it's
Hmm.
it's not readily available like you would think. And that's another reason why I'm glad that we are hiring, because that's going to free me up, and I can be more intentional. I have books that I've started, haven't finished. Like, i'm I'm not being too hard on myself, but I'm looking at the areas that I could do better. I do need to spend more time cooking. I do need to
Hmm.
spend more time reading, if I say I really want to help him. Like, I have to be better. But I also have to be a better version of myself as well. I was in the gym every day this week,
Yeah.
because knowing that I'm down, I'm like, okay, at least when I'm working out, I don't know about you, but for that hour, I'm not thinking about anything besides working out.
Hmm.
Or just, I'm focused on myself, my arms, whatever it is.
Hmm.
so, yeah, so I'm doing the things that help me to feel better, to help me be a better me, so I could be a better mother, wife, all that good stuff. Yeah.
Hey, but you know what though? You said a lot there, but first off, you don't even realize how amazing you are, yeah, as a mama. I'm gonna be honest. You don't even realize because as you sit here and you're talking about this challenge of our son having developmental delay, you don't realize even really how much of that is just based on how much you love him, man. And I think this week, really was really impactful. Yeah, because he got sick, but some of those things, like you said, that he usually does, he wasn't doing. You know what I mean? Like he ain't been eating the same way. He's been up in the middle of the night even more than usual. You know what I mean? He's clearly been frustrated, trying to communicate to us, he doesn't talk, you know what I mean? So if you got a child, or just think about anybody like in your life, you take it for granted every day. If you want to know how they feel, for the most times, you just talk to them. You just talk to them. What if you can talk to them? What if they can't talk to you?
Yeah. Can I
Yeah.
say something
Of,
too?
I mean, so what do you mean you asking me? Why you
well,
asking me?
well, I just thought about something, and I know we're getting ready to talk about community, but I called my friend,
Hmm.
and I was crying, because I was like, I'm really feeling, I'm feeling heavy. I need to talk to somebody. And she's a special education teacher,
Hmm.
and she prayed with me. But she also said the blessing is that he's actually trying to communicate.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's all I wanted to say. Like, it's
No.
actually, when you have community, it will change your perception on how you're viewing things. Like, oh wait,
That's a
yeah,
good thing.
he is
That
trying to communicate. Look at that.
that's dope.
So
That's
not
dope.
focusing on the he can't or what he's
Mm.
not doing, but he's actually trying. So that gave me hope. But continue on.
Nah, you funny. Nah, but I'm saying like you don't realize how amazing you are because the things that you're doing to better yourself is not for like self validation at all, really. And I don't even think you really noticed that. Like the other day, might have been yesterday, you're standing up holding our son, and you're like, "Look, this is what's happening because I go to the gym." I can walk up these steps and hold them this way. I can do this and that. Like, ain't nothing wrong with this, but you could be on Instagram, you know what I mean, doing it for yourself 100%. Look at me, look at how good I look putting on certain outfits and stuff like that. But you're getting the love out of what's happening in the gym because of the way that you could hold your son differently,
Yeah,
the way that you can maneuver with him differently, the
yeah,
way that you can bring bags and stuff into the house. Like, do you realize what that says about you as a
yeah.
person?
I never thought about that, but it's true though. I am working out to be fit
Hmm.
because it takes a lot of strength for him. Like he wants to, like we'll be walking and he'll just sit down and start rocking.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Serious.
I gotta pick him up. You
Hmm.
know, even like sometimes brushing his teeth, you gotta hold him down a little bit because
Yeah.
we
The
working on
mornings are
that muscle.
hard.
The mornings are
Like he
hard.
gets up, he wants to go downstairs right away. And, one thing with his developmental delay, and anybody that has kids with developmental delays or autism or anything like that, you learn a lot. And one of the things I've seen with him is that he does have certain behavioral patterns, like rocking. Like he'll have little frustration moments where he's like screaming at you. You got to go put him in his crib, let him chill out for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And damn times be hard to deal with because you want to be able to just say, look, and I'm tried it. I'm tried it a lot. Like
Yeah.
you be thinking you got the answer. Some things you don't got the answer for. So I'll be
Mhm.
like, hey, calm down. Like things that I did with my other kids, rock him. Pat his. He don't care about none of that. He don't want you rocking him. He don't want you rubbing him. Like he don't want you doing none of that. It's just like he needs to like get through it on his own.
Mhm.
Even as a young kid, it's like he has to get through that tough moment on his own. And we have to kind of sit there and watch him go through that tough time. And that's really, really hard. Whereas with our other kids, we could do a lot more like direct intervention. And as parents, you kind of want to take the pain away from your kids. You want to take the
Mhm.
struggle away from your kids. You want to soothe. You want to comfort. You want to correct. You want to reassure. But some things like this, you can.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Or you have to do it in a different way. You know what I'm saying? Now, one thing that I know that we ain't been doing, and we've been doing it better lately, but every single day we should be praying for our son. We should be praying for the right things to do, the right things to say. I didn't even know exactly where this podcast episode was gonna go, but right before we start, like always, we pray. We always pray before we start every podcast episode. And today, I said, hey, help this be an episode that we say what could help somebody else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I believe today that's what led us to talk about this. Cause I had I just want to talk about community, but I was like, you know what? Nah, somebody else is probably out there just like you. You know what I mean? Or been through what we've been through. And
Yeah.
I wanted you to share that. Now,
Well,
go
I
ahead.
would just say I hear you with the prayer thing, but I would say that this week was probably why I was so emotional because I was like, I'm tired of praying. Like,
Wow.
like I think that's pretty much how the week started.
But you ain't been praying together though. I don't think.
Well, we haven't been praying.
But
Well, we
I know
did
you
though.
probably pray for him every day though.
I pray for y'all a lot.
I appreciate that. I appreciate
I
that.
pray for the whole family right here in this room
Hmm.
in the studio. But we got on our knees and
C-
prayed this week.
couple times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
together, and that was nice. We haven't done that in a long time.
Long
Like
time.
not on the knees.
Nah, not like that. Yeah, but
Yes.
hey, it's different when you do it like that though.
Yeah.
It's like you're really acknowledging that you need help. Like you're
Yeah.
getting down into a way where it's like, come down and help me. And I think that's where we've been at for a couple different reasons. Now, one of the things you did, which a lot of us do, is which is fine. I'm glad you didn't stick in this energy too long, but like you start self internalizing things like, well, I could be better. You know what I mean? I could be giving him a better diet. I could be a better mother. I could be doing more to help him. That's the part that could get you done. You know what I'm saying? And the devil is very creative. He tries to find different ways to, he finds every little crack and everything to just break it wide open. But you could sit in that like self, you know what I'm saying, negative thought of like, it's me. It's something that I'm not doing. I need to be better. And maybe it is, maybe it's not. But I do love how you have those moments, but you don't stay in them moments. You say, well, hey, maybe I could be doing more. Let me go find out. You don't just sit there like, oh, I'm not doing enough. I'm not doing enough. I'm not doing enough. You go, hey, let me tap into something. Let me go listen to another podcast. Let me go read. Let me go reach out to your friend. You know what I'm saying? Let me go be part of a community to help me get through this. Because one thing in church today, as I tap into that they said was like, none of us have it all together. None of us have it all together. So we need each other to get through things. The ups and downs of life, we need each other to get through things. We need to be talking with each other, sharing with each other, holding each other up. You know what I'm saying? They mentioned how that advice that you need in your instance was a friend that you know that you could call out to. They talked today about how it could be somebody in the same row as you, and you'll never get the help, you'll never get the connection if you don't even just go and say hello. You know what I'm saying? And start talking to people, start sharing with people, because you don't know that it could be that person that you drive past every day that you see on the corner drinking a coffee or whatever. That's the person that's going through a developmental delay with their kids, and you don't even know it. You know what I mean? You engage with people all the time. Maybe you're not even engaging and talking with them in the right way. They could have information to really help you out. You know what I'm saying? But you have to be a little bit vulnerable. You can't always think about what other people think, which is like the hardest thing to do, especially with something like this. Sometimes you could be embarrassed. You know what I mean? You could be confused. I know with me, and this might relate to a lot of people, but like when certain things happen, you be thinking like, why is this happening to me? Like this shouldn't be happening to me. What did I do? You know what I mean? What did I do to deserve this? What did we do? Well, I had kids already. What did we do this last time where you went through the toughest pregnancy you had with our kids? He did not want to come out. He was taking his sweet time. He came out, went back in. You know what I mean? What did we really do different for us to be in this situation where we got him as a 3-year-old that don't talk to us? I have no idea. We didn't do anything, not that I know of. But we're here in this situation. What did I do to be all of a sudden go outside to walk the dog and come back and my back is done and I did nothing? What did I do to deserve that? What did I do this week to find myself feeling a little bit better, going to the gym, this, and that, and then going to the doctor and they're like, oh, your blood pressure's high. You need to go get your pressure down the next 30 days and record it and do all this type of stuff, or we'll give you blood pressure medicine. I'm sitting there and I'm listening to this guy and I'm like, how did I even get here? All the things that I used to do bad for my health, I don't even do like that anymore or at all. How am I here? I coach now. I'm more active. You know
More
what I'm
active
saying?
than you've ever
Than I'm
been,
ever been.
eating better than you ever
You know what I'm
have.
saying? Like, and you be thinking that like something's supposed to come your way because you're doing the right things, but it don't even work like that. You know, it don't. And how do you get through that moment of like, I can't believe this is happening to me? It's not fair. I'm frustrated. You know what I'm saying? What did I do to deserve this? And sometimes the answer might just be nothing. But you said, and God said that it ain't nothing that we get given that is too heavy for us to bear, right? But it is too heavy for us to bear on our end. I think that's the key thing. There are things that are too heavy for you to bear. It is. You just talked about it. You know what I'm saying? It's too heavy to bear it on your end. But that's what community is supposed to be about. You're not supposed to
Yeah.
bear it on your end. You know what I'm
And
saying?
those things that we're carrying had us on our knees,
For sure.
connecting with our Savior, asking Him for the solution, asking Him for help,
Hmm.
clarity.
For
Like,
real.
just walk with us, Lord.
For real.
So
So, as we talk about community, you know what I mean? Let's first of all, it was Zion Church in Greenbelt that we went to. You know what I mean? A big shout out to them. And I tell you, like, I'm gonna be honest, you know what I mean, be real on our podcast. When we got there, they had a panel format for the sermon today. It wasn't a traditional sermon. It was like 5 or 6 people on a panel just talking about this thing about community. And one of the first questions they asked was, is community overrated? True or false? You know what I'm saying? I was sitting in my seat and I'm like, all right, where's this thing? Where is this about to go? Like, it's not a traditional sermon. I won't say I was already hating on it, but I was already thinking like, all right, it's just about to be a bunch of people talking this and that. I wasn't even appreciating the community that I was stepping into. You know what I'm saying? But they started talking about God and the fact that even when he was on earth, he had disciples, like he had his own community. He was the one person that could have did this world on his own, and he still didn't even do it. You know what I'm saying? And each of these people that were up on the panel, they started talking about different things they had been through where they had needed community. You know what I'm saying? And I hate to say it because it's not a misery loves company thing, but the first thing that caught my eye was like that quick reminder that I'm not the only person going through things.
we forget.
It feels like it. I'm not the only person that went to the doctor this week and got told they had high blood pressure. They got to do something about it. I'm not the only person that randomly hurt their back and they got to fix it. I'm not the only person that's up at night wondering if something else could be wrong that's more severe because it hasn't gotten 100% better yet. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the only person. I'm not the only person losing my mind because I'm not my 100% best self. I'm not. But I'm telling you, it's felt like it because I ain't been part of community. But I'm not the only person. You know what I'm saying? I need to remember that as I create community for other people to share with me, I want to fill other people with things. But they also, I don't know how they worded it, but they said like community is for you to fill others, but also for you to be filled. You know what I'm saying? So like I create a podcast and I'm here to feel things with others. I feel love within my kids. Like if they need anything, I'm there for them. I help them out. I take care of them. I comfort them. You know what I'm saying? Like I have my family community, but I'm been empty. I'm been on 25% gas. I need to be filled. You know what I'm saying? I need to be poured into. I'm not my best version of myself. And a lot of y'all listening, what do we do when we're not the best version of ourselves? We talking high. They talked about that. We don't want to be, we want to be part of community when we looking good, feeling good, smelling good. But when we not that, we want to be alone. We become learners sometimes. I'm definitely been on that where I don't want to be a part of anything else because I'm not the best version of myself. I don't want to show that. But that's the time you need community the most. You know what I'm saying? So that really caught my eye of like, I need to fix that because it may not change what I'm going through, but it may change how I feel about it. Just like you know. While I was in church, and I want to get your thoughts on the sermon today from Zion. First of all, Zion and Greenbelt. If y'all ain't never heard of this church, go look them up or whatever. They have all their episodes online and stuff like
Online is
that.
called Zion Anywhere.
Thank you. I wouldn't even know that. Thank you. That's why I need the wife. You know what I'm saying? But, but you know what I mean. But go check them out because what they shared today was what I needed to hear for real about community. You know what I'm saying? But one of the things that while I was in church listening to the whole thing about community and stuff, it had me thinking something that you did, which I first didn't appreciate, but I realized why I needed it. You reached out to my stepmama, you know what I mean? We talked about her on the podcast recently, but you was like, yeah, well, she's been helping your daddy with blood pressure and stuff like that. And I ain't wanna talk to her. Because the first thing in my mind was like, I don't need all these people environment me, you know what I mean? Then that I'm sitting here dealing with some health thing. Like that's the first thing is like you want to protect. You want to like limit what people know or whatever, but I'm missing the information I might need. You know what I'm saying? And instantly after talking to her for a couple of minutes, first of all, I realized that I was taking my pressure probably at the wrong times. I had taken it was like 150 over 80 something. And I realized why I just walked up the steps that weren't smart. I realized I ain't sitting in the right place. I ain't putting my arm in the right place. You know what I mean? She gave me a whole long detox thing for me to do. All this stuff started hitting my fan for me to do to try to like get in a better health space. You know what I'm saying? And does it work? I don't know. I'm gonna do it though. But all of a sudden, it went from me being on my own to somebody being there for me. Thank you for doing that.
You're welcome.
Excuse me, we edit that out. Thank you to my stepmama for doing that for me. You know what I mean? I call her moms because she's like a mother to me. She is a mother to me. You know what I'm saying? She's took care of me a lot of times at different moments in my life. And you know what? Sometimes that person that's gonna help you, what if they do say something about you? What if they do on the side have something to say? It doesn't matter. Just like with you and your son. You know, it doesn't matter. Maybe somebody is gonna have a harsh comment. Why are you saying this online about your son's delays? Maybe they might even make a joke at it. Maybe whatever, you know what I'm saying? But why would you let that block the information that you need to get through life? You know what I'm saying? Because the same way somebody could listen to our podcast and be like, well, they don't got everything all together, so I don't need to listen to them. But maybe you do, because we got information that can help you. You know what I mean? You got information that can help us. But that's our problem sometimes. You know what I mean? We don't want to share. But you're helping break them down for me. You're gonna have to do it a lot because I'm naturally not like that. You know what I mean? But being in church today just reminded me like I ain't the only person that wants to kind of hide when I'm not my best self. And I've been sitting here thinking like I can't believe this is happening to me. But I've been holding it on my own. And maybe I need to go talk with somebody. You know what I mean? Be around people. I'm going to the men's group this upcoming Friday. You know what I mean? So I'm actually looking forward to that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not the only person going through things, you know?
Hmm.
What you get out of it?
Um, I would like to be more involved.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm probably gonna look into the women's ministry or a small group or something like that because I have been part of community before in regards to the church, but it was a long time ago where I've been like in a small group, like consistently. Because I've been on like praise and worship team, not at Zion, but at a different church, which is nice. I've been in small groups before, but um I definitely want to get more involved
Mm-hmm.
because it's nice. I like
Mm-hmm.
serving.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like serving.
This one girl, you know what I'm saying? And I had a moment, I had a time like this in 2010, but let me talk about this one girl talked about how she had been in like a fender bender head on collision. You know what I'm saying? Then she I can't remember all the events, but she had like two head on collisions and then she had to lose she lost where she was living at and then all of a sudden she was living in a hotel, like you know what I mean? And all within a chain of events. You know what I mean? Kind of like back to back to back. Sometimes life will punch you down, and then sometimes it will punch you and keep on punching you down. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's kind of what happened to me this week because, and I don't mean to laugh, but like the whole thing I was worrying about was okay, my back's not 100%. And I was going back to the doctor with you. Remember, I asked you to come with me
Hmm.
to be like, let's hear what the doctor's gonna recommend because my back's not 100% yet. So I thought that that was the only thing that we were there for. That's what I was prepared for, and I already really wasn't prepared for that because I thought he was gonna say it could be this, it could be that, like all that type of stuff. And then all of a sudden, he gave me a couple tests on my back, asked me how the pain is. I told him it was like a 1.5. He told me to take some Advils and stuff for it, and if it doesn't get better, keep going in the future. Maybe I'll go check some spinal person or whatever. And that was the end of that. And then most of the conversation was about blood pressure. So I was like sitting there at the end of the conversation, like, yo, now all of a sudden I had something else, like another hurdle. I wasn't prepared for it. It's like that actually became more of the conversation than the back thing. Even though both important, I don't know what's going on, you know what I'm saying? But I left there with more on my plate than less. You know what I mean? And life could do that. You know what I mean? It's not gonna it don't always give you one knockout or one punch and then say, oh, that's enough. I'm gonna let you sit there and recoup and get yourself back on your feet and then I'll give you another one.
No, that's not
It don't
how it
work
works.
like that. You know what I mean? It could beat you down and then continue to beat you and beat you and beat you down over and over again. You know? But the other thing that they said with this whole thing in community and why it's important is people being able to see things in you that you don't see. So like you might be aware of things in your life or things that you're going through, but you don't the guy said you may not see the blind spots. And that kind of caught my eye too when he was talking about the blind spots. If you ever been driving and you don't know what your blind spot is, you look in your mirrors and you could see what's on the side of you. You could see what's behind of you. But there's a certain time when a car will overtake you that for that split second, you can't see them. And that's what was sticking into my mind. So like we're walking through life and we can see what's behind us, we see what's in front of us, we see what's on the side of us, but sometimes something could happen and they're sitting right in your blind spot and you don't even see it. You know what I'm saying? Was somebody trying to hit you up for
I
real?
don't even understand how it can go through when the phone
When
is on
that's
silent.
crazy, but
Like
it's
that's
all good.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Somebody's trying to interrupt our party. The devil trying to get in. We ain't worrying about it. People trying to have parties downstairs, Zumba downstairs, technology not working, Randy's fans blowing up 100 times, but it don't matter because that means we talking about something we need to be talking about. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, talked about community having people that could see the blind spots. So like they can see what's coming even if you don't see it. They might be able to see them parts of you that you don't see that you need to work on. You know what I mean? Help you be accountable for things. They talked about accountability.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They talked about um a common thread. You know what I mean? That was another one which is like when you're in the community, you might realize there's some commonalities between you as people that keep us together and also make us come apart. You know what I'm saying? And you need that. You know what I mean? You're not on your own. You got to be a part of a community. There's some commonalities in all of us as people. And if you think about our podcast, we got like the number one commonality, which is everybody's going through ups and downs in life. Every single person. That's our common thread. You know what I'm saying? That's the common thing between us is that we're all having good days, bad days. You know what I'm saying? We're all getting good surprises, surprises that we didn't want. You know what I'm saying? We're all getting challenges that we didn't expect. All of us are dealing with disappointments, heartaches. You know what I mean? Losing family members, losing jobs. We all deal with that, not just you at all. That's the common thread of life. Life will put you through it. You know what I'm saying? The last thing about community I want to talk about, which I would say is just as important as everything was said, if not more important, is community is what God wants for you. He wants you to lean on others. He wants you to lean on Him, though. You know what I'm saying? They said that, and you might hear people say this, but like, you can't forget the journey and what God's already brought you through. And they made a little joke about it, about you might be living in some, real nice area out here in Maryland. You forgot that you was out of some apartment with 10 people and all that. But I got the concept, which is like making me think like this might be the biggest challenge of my life. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But I'm 39, you know what I'm saying? What's God already brought me through? When I was listening to that girl talk about the chain of events for her, God's brought me through a chain of events. You know what I'm saying? God took me as a young man, you know what I'm saying, going out to Maryland to do my CPA, bringing me back. I felt real good about the exam. Felt like I passed it, you know what I'm saying? Went to the gas station, saw my brother, you know what I'm saying, gave him a big hug, you know, told him that I'll see him later. He was coming out my house to chill, you know what I mean? And never came to my house that night. Sent him a text, told him don't worry about it. The rains, don't worry about it. The rain is raining. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry. I'll see you later. Your boy texted me back, said, don't worry, I'll be there. You know? Woke up, 21 missed calls on my phone. I'll never forget that. I knew instantly something was wrong. I called my stepmama, and my stepmama says, Derico passed away last night. Chain of events started right away. I'm lost my brother just like that. I don't know. I didn't expect it, didn't understand it until I went up to the house and I realized within an instant everybody's going through his clothes and going through his stuff and trying to figure out what to do. And I'm sitting there just in the moment, like, how do I go from I'm about to play this video game with my brother like we always do to waking up and now all of a sudden we're trying to figure out what to do with his belongings. And all I could ever remember was how he told me, don't worry, I'll be there. You know what I'm saying? God, before that even happened, I hadn't even been talking to my brother over for like a year, up until maybe 2 months before that, because we fell out over something real stupid. Actually, something I shouldn't even have been doing. You know what I'm saying? Um, but yet he came to my house, hugged me, was like, I miss my brother. And that was it. We never even talked about the beef or nothing. Just hugged each other, sat down, started playing video games like we usually would. After my brother passed, about a month later, my grandma passed. Just like that. Couple months later, my cousin gets murdered at the same house that I be chilling with my cousin all the time. You know what I mean? Like right in the backyard. You know, and it's just like, and I remember when he got murdered, like when I was 12 and I met him, he was like one of these kids. It might have been like 11 or so. But when I met him, I was just like, I just thought he was so cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he was a little rough or whatever. And I was just one of them kids. I was just like, yo, he just caught my eye, you know what I'm saying? And he was the cousin of my brother, my stepbrother. And we started kicking it and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And I'm more closer to his older brother and everything, but um, but he ends up getting murdered by a friend. However, that went on. And then further on after that, a couple months later, I hadn't actually passed that exam. I was like 1 or 2 points short. I don't know if you remember that.
It was 1 point.
1 point short. And then after that, I lost my job. So you're talking about a span of like November. I'm feeling on the highest of highs. And don't even forget that one of my bestest friends while I was out here in Maryland, he had come out here, my boy Earl, he had come out here for heart surgery and everything like that. He died like New Year's Day in a car accident. And I only couldn't go to his funeral because it was on the same day as my brother's. So here it is, November. I'm feeling on top of things. I'm seeing my woman, my wife now. She's all fine and everything. I'm coming Maryland to see her, thinking I'm past my exam. I don't get it. And then between November and June, I'm lost my brother, I'm lost my cousin, I'm lost my grandmother, I'm lost my best friend, and now I'm lost my job because I had to pass my exams within a certain period of time and I didn't. In June, now I'm getting sick because I'm not taking care of myself. I got mold all in my apartment. You know what I'm saying? I'm not eating. I'm not trying to get another job. And here I am going from the top of things to just being feeling like empty. Didn't know where to go. Didn't know what to do. It was like a chain of events. God brought me through that though. I can't forget that. And there's pains even just talking about it's all the same. But like how could I forget that God brought me through that? God could do a lot of things. He brought my family through that. He brought my cousins through that. You know what I'm saying? And all of us, I know, have a pain on the inside that's like indescribable because those pains don't go away, yo. They don't ever get filled. Time helps you continue to move on because you have to, but it don't change your heart or your emotions. It doesn't. You know what I'm saying? You burn yourself, It's not always going to be a fresh wound that's, you know, pussing up and all that. But you look back at it 3 years from now, that thing is still on your leg. It's there forever. It doesn't go anywhere. But God brought me through these things. And being at church today just reminded me about community, but also giving some credit that I'm been through things and He's brought me through things. And He could bring me through this. But my faith is bad. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes we forget, you know, it's almost like what can you do for me lately? Well, we forget. He's brought me through that. Now I'm on top of things with my career. I got my own business, 2 businesses. I'm coaching. Three businesses. One, two, 3 businesses. 3. Yes. You see what I'm saying? He's brought me through all of that. And now he's got me in a room pouring with my wife about life and all the real things in it. When there was a point in time in 2010 where life didn't mean nothing to me because I thought I had lost it all already. And I don't know, I was so angry, like so frustrated, so hurt that that could happen. Losing my brother like that. Something that he does all the time, which is come up my house and chill, play video games. The fact that he didn't come didn't even shake me at all because there's so many times he'll say he'll come and he don't come. He'll end up getting mixed up, going somewhere else, check some girl or something. It didn't even faze me that he didn't come. You know what I mean? But I'll never forget that night that for the first time in my life, and I don't think I'm did it since, I didn't fall asleep with the TV on. I didn't fall asleep with the lights on or freaking popcorn on the table or all that. I literally, for whatever reason, when I texted him, he was like, you know, I'm still coming. It got late. I turned the TV off. I turned all the lights off and I went to sleep. And I don't never do that. I just pass out usually. And I went to sleep and I woke up to their messages on my phone, 21. I'll never forget. I still got the old Blackberry somewhere that's got those messages on it. Probably can't retrieve it though. But life would do that, you know what I'm saying? But God brought me through all those things. And He's brought us through tough times. Yeah, mama. You know what I mean? He's brought us through that. And the pain is still there. But if you're listening to this, don't ever forget that whatever you're going through right now is not the only thing that you've probably been through. As heavy as it seems, what has God already did for you? And what is He doing? What are you supposed? Hey, the girl says something. She was like, you know, you look at what's happening to you or whatever, but she was like, with the relationship, she said she was in a 2-year relationship and she ended it. And she was talking about what she was supposed to learn from it. What are we supposed to learn from these trials that we go through? Well, I know today I got a quick reminder of like, I need to remember that community needs to be part of my life. You know what I'm saying? And I remember that God's God's work's not done with me, and I need to ask Him more about why I'm going through these things that I'm going through, and not just focus on what they are and what I can do to fix it. Because I didn't do anything really to make it like that. I might think I did, but maybe I didn't. My granny died of breast cancer. She's the healthiest person you ever know.
Facts.
So what does it mean? Even if I wasn't eating the best or whatever, somebody's out there eating burger, fries, onion rings right now. Pressure's 120 over 80. Beautiful. You don't know why life's gonna do things the way it's gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? But He's gonna be there for you and He'll get you through things. And if you ain't part of a community, you need to be part of our community because every podcast you listen to is not being real like this about everything in life. You know what I'm saying? And we want you to be a part of our community, but we're going to be part of more communities ourselves to help us get through life because it's hard. It's good, it's exciting, it's surprising, but it's also challenging, deflating, and sometimes you might want to give up. Sometimes we get stuck. I'm glad we went to church today. You know what I mean? Zion and Greenbelt, we appreciate y'all, you know what I mean, for the way that you guys talked about it today. And I'm glad that we're gonna try to be better and go back. I'm glad I got you. You know what I mean? Because even everything that I've been going through, I don't know what that would feel like if I didn't have the wife I got. I don't know what that would feel like if I didn't have you since I was freaking 21, being in my life cheering for me, and always looking me in the eye as if I'm something. That's something you do for me, man. So I
Mm,
appreciate you
thank
for
you.
that. You know what I'm saying?
I don't even know what to say. I received that.
I
Thank you.
receive you, nah, for sure.
I bet you do.
You stupid. And I know it weren't easy, you know me, talking about our son today, but trust me, you can bless somebody with that because, hey, we got a son with developmental delays, but that's our boy, you know, and he
Oh
means
yeah.
everything to us. And we not gonna leave until every stone's unturned to help him because we love him, and that's what it's about. And it don't matter. We're gonna get the help. We're gonna get the information, and it don't matter who's giving it to us or what credit they might want to take for giving it to it. Like, okay, we can humble ourselves because that's what you got to do when you really love somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. And we're gonna stay in shape.
Oh yeah, for
We're gonna
sure.
make sure we can carry him and do
Hmm.
all the
And
things.
we gonna
I
take it easy in that sauna because that sauna be getting real hot. But
no, it's so good for us
I
though.
know, but
It's so
geez, every
good.
time I go in it, I think I'm gonna be used to it. But nah, I be sweating crazy.
You're supposed to.
I know.
It's so good. Release those toxins.
Hmm. But anyway, this the Dax and Randy show. Make sure you follow us on all platforms that have podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. You can follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Dax and Randy show. You know what I'm saying? We talk about the ups and downs of life, our experiences. We want to hear about yours. We want to build this thing. Today's word is community. We want to build a community. That's why we're doing this podcast. You know what I mean? So follow us. You know what I mean? Show us some love. We're here for you. We need you guys to be here for us. You know what I mean? And this is the number one show for going through the ups and downs of life. We appreciate y'all. Peace. Make sure you follow the Dax and Randy show on all platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, on YouTube. Let us know what you're going through. This is the number one show for going through the ups and downs of life. We want to hear from you, engage with you. Till next time. Peace.